Graffiti in La Jolla, baby. Nah, not really. What kind of? And I say that because this is such a cool town that it's rare that we see that. You know, it's just such a, I can't, I know you're like, okay, I get it. You like Durango, you like La Jolla, get it. Let me kind of pass along something that I've learned recently. And, I'm always one to kind of try to, share a little light and love, a little wisdom. And sometimes wisdom comes at you, it comes at you through, experiences. And a lot of times, there's, in fact, the Bible even speaks of different types of wisdom, a higher and a lower. And, what's the plural of wisdom? Is it wisdai? Anyway, you just have enough experiences. And for example, this is a, maybe, what do you want to call it? Kind of a fun, talk about online dating, one of the things that's real important to me is, I think just healing, just like getting better, personal development, whatever fucking word you want to put on it, personal development, growth, what do you want to call it? Healing. There's all kinds of words, spiritual development. You want to talk about, Tony Robbins, live with passion, or, come on, dude. We're talking about just growing up and getting better. And some, Maya Angelou, baby, says, when you know better, you do better, nigga. Holla. I just love her wisdom. I think I've said before, I just love Maya Angelou, man. I just think I call her Mama Angelou. Just imagine if she were your grandma or your mom or your neighbor, your aunt. Oh, man. Beautiful. In fact, I often say that Maya Angelou is so brilliant that 90% of your problems can be solved by Googling Maya Angelou quotes. So next time you go through a problem, baby, you don't even have to use Maya Angelou, baby. You can just go, or you don't have to even use me. Just Google Maya Angelou quotes, and you will know. And that's, you'll know what to do. And her voice is so full of grace and her wisdom. If you want to know what just elegant, beautiful, queen, purple wisdom, Maya Angelou, baby, Maya Angelou. All right. So when you know better, you do better. One of the areas that I want to get better is in relationships, so I've been doing online dating, and I've been happily divorced for a long time, 7 years now, 6 years, not long enough, but anyway. So learning how to, when you have a bad marriage and bad relationships, it's so easy to go back to the same relationship. And one of the things that drives me as a person, I think, is my own family as a tendency, and I'm just speaking in my own kind here. Remember, you can always make fun of your own kind. Is my family sort of we were never as a people committed to getting over problems. We just kind of sustain the problem. And so there wasn't really, there wasn't really a desire even to really want to change and get better. And so as a result, there was a lot of, I guess you'd call it like a survivor mentality versus a thriver's mentality, like victims and survivors, like they have bad relationships. They always have bad relationships. But people who want to thrive, they want good relationships. There's a difference between not wanting a bad relationship and wanting a good relationship. In fact, remind me someday to tell you, I got a story about that when I went into a restaurant. And God, in a very interesting way, said, all right, dude, tell me what you do want. Let's start talking about what you do want versus what you don't want. So, online dating, I learned something. There's a couple of venues like eharmony. I think eharmony's kind of jumped the shark. I like their model, but I just think they're too, And then there's Tinder, which is basically it's high school and a bar without the tequila. And then there's Bumble, and Bumble has recently come out. And one thing I like about Bumble is it's kind of changed the gender power structure in the sense that you have to equally match, and then the women have to initiate contact. And I think it's just really good. I think that we really need to start looking at gender roles and the way gender, and I just, again, I'm a hashtag MRA, so gender has been on my radar for a long time. So where am I going with this? Well, Bumble, they have to initiate. So what I did in my profile is I said what I needed, and this is free advice, free dating advice from Fibonojji. And so what I did is I just simply in my profile kind of said, how awesome I was and that I'm traveling and how much I love to travel and just some tidbits. And I said, hey, don't just say hi. Tell me something about you. And I said, I hate pen pals. I don't need a pen pal. I'm here to, meet cool people. And it's been real interesting. When I told the Bumblers what I needed, guess what? The people that want to dance in my sandbox are they're telling me interesting things, really some off the wall things, I'm like, really didn't need to know about that, really, but okay, thank you. You like crunchy peanut butter, great, holla. And other people will be like, they'll say something like, where they travel or maybe. So anyway, the point is in relationships, I wish I would have known this when I was 20, is simply letting people know what you want from the beginning, and the people who you want to dance with will honor that. And I wish I would have known that simple piece of wisdom is, Jonathan, show up. Ask for what you need and what you want without apologies. And the people who are worth dancing with, they will that will be all right. As a result, the other side is kind of, I guess, the Tinder side, the dark side, if you will, and that's where the guy just, he's doing all the initiating. It's basically sperm wars, and these are very, and it's it's interesting. Just tell me what you want. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you and it's just so interesting how that one piece of a wisdom, and for the first time in probably 7 years, I'm actually enjoying dating. I haven't really met a lot of people because I'm traveling so much, but even whenever I'm done dating, it's like, I'm going to just take that. It's like, just tell people what you need. Even in a job, tell them what you need. And if you have a simple, legitimate request and that's completely blown up, that's not the right job for you. Or, let's say that you really, really have a hobby and maybe, for example, you really like cycling, or maybe you really like photography, or maybe you really like to ski, or maybe it's so important that you go. If you show up in relationships and you say, hey, this is what's really important to me, watch and see how those small desires and requests are honored. Because, when I go back to my broken marriage, and this is not for me to sling mud or to talk about an old relationship, but more to talk about dysfunctional relationships. When I look back at that relationship, one of the things that happened that I did not see happening was that the very small things that I wanted were completely blown off the table. Really small things. And again, that's a personal relationship. Anyway, so Bumble is teaching me and teaching us. Number one is, hey, it's a better dating world when women initiate. And two, men and also women, let them know what you need and want without apologies. And you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at some of the responses you get. Anyway, there I am, just kind of rambling, kind of passing some dating knowledge, because, really, if you think about it, there's a couple 3 areas of life that just really, really make life wonderful. And relationships are a critical piece. And it's unfortunate that I wish I would have known earlier to value relationships on the same level as the other areas. There's certain areas I really focused a lot on, like money and things like that. And money is extremely important. But I wish I would have known at 20 how important relationships are and were. And how to and actually have tools to build good relationships. Because we all want good relationships, but how many times do you actually see good relationships? In fact, let me kind of wrap this up. And recently I went out with somebody on Bumble, and she and I are in different places and different different wavelengths, and she's a cool chick, and it's not going to work out because she kind of wants to. She's wanting to get married, and I'm done with the institution of marriage. But one thing we both talked about is, and now, I think, she was like 33 and I'm 40, and we were talking about how rare it is to see legitimately happy relationships in marriage. Like how rare. And I said, here I am 40, and I could probably only think of, and I held up just one hand, I made my left hand. I said, I think if I really got to thinking, I could probably only come up with 3 to 5 people or couples that were legitimately happy, healthy, in love in a healthy, constructive way. And I'm 40 years old, and I could probably only think of 4 or 5 people. That's really, really, really sad. And well, you tell me, how many truly, truly happy, healthy relationships do you know? And tweet me at Fibonojji. Let me know. Let me know approximately how old you are, and then tell me how many relationships. And I would be really interesting to see. And my prejudice is that most people, it's certainly less than 10, but probably less than 5. And again, it's one thing to be attracted. It's one thing to be happy because you're on a vacation. But I'm talking about people who are genuinely happy. They both make each other better people. Johnny Cash, June Carter, baby. All right. Email me, americana417@gmail.com, or just find me on Twitter at Fibonojji. Hope you're enjoying my photography. Just taking some morning pictures. There is nothing better than waking up super early and doing morning photography on that. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my pictures. You guys be good. Email me, americana417@gmail.com.